Yeah!
Pierre Poilievre tells Justin Trudeau to quit his day job in epic fashion and proportion. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. Today, I've got a really awesome, amazing, excellent video to show you about Pierre Poilievre in the House of Commons, absolutely destroying and ruining Justin Trudeau's day and showing just why he's fit to be the next leader of Canada. But before we get into that, ladies and gentlemen, we're creeping up the ladder. It would be great to see our subs increase even more. If you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure to leave a thumbs up and a comment on your way out for the video as well. YouTube has been suppressing anything where we talk about Justin Trudeau. I'm going to get into more of that later in the video. But if you're enjoying the content, again, folks, please hit that subscribe button and let's get into what is going on today. Pierre Poilievre has been going on the full frontal attack on Justin Trudeau recently, mostly talking about things like safe supply in Vancouver. Now, I'm not going to be able to talk about that today because yesterday I brought out a video talking about the issues with safe supply and just where things were going in Vancouver and why the Conservatives are pushing so hard to crack down on decriminalization of addictable substances. Now, YouTube, of course, struck down that video and said that it was not suitable for YouTube's policies, I guess, even though there's tons of videos talking about those things. And I don't want to make sure, I want to be able to make sure, I should say, that you guys are able to see the content that comes out on this channel. So, with that being said, I'll try to keep you up to date, maybe in live streams or other channels, as to how we pass the information along what's going on with controlled substances. But I want to show this video that Pierre's put out over the weekend. It says this is no longer uncommon thanks to Trudeau. Now, just a fair warning, the audio is a little bit lower on this one, so you may have to turn it up for your device. But it really hits home as to where we are in Canada as a problem right now when it comes to things like the carbon tax, affordability, inflation, and Justin Trudeau's wacky economy. Let's take a look.
The main reason why we're leaving Canada after living here for 6 years is mainly because it's not worth it anymore for us to be away from our family and not being able to visit them as often as we would want to because of the high cost of living and everything else around. When we moved here, it was extremely painful for our parents. I know it was, even though they were excited for us and were very supportive, but it was very painful for them to accept the fact that their kid is moving away pretty much forever and they will only be seeing them maybe once a year, maybe twice a year max. But they knew it's all going to be worth it because based on our qualifications and our brains, we could do more with what we have somewhere in a first world country that is so much more advanced. And for them to see right now how Canada is struggling and seeing on TV how Canadians born and raised here are crying and not really knowing how to cope with the expenses and with the prices and everything, and the fact that I have been waiting for a doctor's appointment for 9 months, and the fact that we cannot leave our noisy downtown apartment because the rent has gone up astronomically, and a few other major issues that are not really being solved at all. It kind of made us all wonder, why are we here now, and why don't we try to live the best years of our lives somewhere where at least you can be closer to your family and freaking have some sun. Canada is a great country and we will miss it a lot, but you gotta do what you gotta do for your own happiness, you know? And I'll be...
So, she's got a very good point, a lot of good points in terms of where we are as Canadians right now. A lot of people talking about leaving the country, packing up, going elsewhere. The problem is it's not as easy and simple as just packing up and leaving. I, for one, prefer to try and fight for change rather than pack up and run away when things get tough. And things are going to be tough for the next little while. I think that no matter how you slice it, it's going to be a challenge for Canadians. Now, this young lady obviously has moved here, my guess, America or from overseas, saying that she's only seeing her family once or twice a year. But again, having to leave the country because they can't afford rent, they can't afford to live. We're hearing stories all the time of migrants who are coming here only to find out that living in Canada is completely unaffordable. It's sad to see. The one thing she touches on in there that I've talked about before that I can vouch for personally is even waiting 9 months for a doctor's appointment. My doctor, under the duress of Alberta Health Services and their new policies, has been told that he essentially either has to work for free for the next 2 years or retire early and give up his practice. And he's choosing to retire because nobody should have to work 60 plus hours a week for essentially no money. He understands that he's letting go his staff. He has to restructure things, but I understand why my doctor is stepping down. Now, since last September, he's given the formal notice that we have 1 year to find a new doctor. I can tell you right now, going into the middle of May, we still haven't found another doctor. It's the lists are stacked against the average person who needs to find any kind of doctor or pediatrician when it comes to their family doctor, and things are only going to get tougher as we wait for the election next year. Now, speaking of the election next year, Pierre Poilievre absolutely on fire in the House of Commons today. I'm going to show some video clip footage from Jasper, Mr. Sunshine Baby, over at House of Canada, where he live streams question period every single time it's on. Again, I would highly recommend you guys go over and check out House of Canada if you haven't yet. And I'm going to show that video footage in just a moment after this video's sponsor, Funnable Friends. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor, Funnable Friends. After a long day of looking at the world and what goes on around it, especially with this guy.
You'll forgive me if I don't think about monetary policy. You'll understand that I think about families.
I definitely need a calming distraction. And that's why I'm here today to talk to you about a new YouTube channel called Funnable Friends. This channel happens to be just what the doctor ordered to help take your stress away. We're talking clumsy puppies, hilarious cat fails, and hours of clean, family-appropriate entertainment. What is more is they are a grassroots channel volunteering and promoting local Alberta charities, including the fostering of a cute puppy through Fostering Hope in Red Deer, Alberta. There's no cost to view the content, with a portion of earnings from the channel going to assist in the well-being of future animals in need. So if you feel the need to forget about the latest political drama in your life for a while, subscribe to Funnable Friends. The stories of those lives of animals getting turned around is sure to brighten your day, and out of our lives and the chaos that continues in it, we could sure all afford a few minutes out of our lives to be a little more funnable. Link is down below in the description. Just to keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, Funnable Friends has been involved in the channel for quite some time. Their charitable work that goes on behind the scenes is nothing short of unfathomable. They have found multiple homes for sheltered animals. And again, your views on their content, I know it's not tied in with politics, but if you're looking for a laugh, if you're looking for something fun to do, head over there, watch the videos. It costs you nothing. And again, their revenue helps them continue their operations, and I, for one, support everything they do. Now, that being said, let's get into what happened in the House of Commons. Again, this was very recent this afternoon. I wanted to get this video out as quickly as I could, with Pierre telling Justin Trudeau to quit his day job. It's absolutely phenomenal, but just keep in mind, Jasper is in the video. I'm hopeful that he's not going to have an issue with that. I doubt he does, but let's take a look at what Pierre had to say in the House of Commons today.
Mr. Speaker, the NDP leader was just asking about why the Prime Minister gave tens of millions of dollars in corporate handouts to powerful grocery chains. So the answer, of course, is that he voted to let the Prime Minister do that. Not a single penny of that money could have gone without the vote of the NDP coalition partner. But we learned something else, that this might have been due to the influence of the NDP leader's spokesman and brother, whose company is a lobbyist for Metro. Would the Prime Minister support an investigation into whether or not the NDP leader's spokesman and brother has been unduly influencing the leader of the NDP?
Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we can see very clearly that all the stories out about the lobbyists' connections with the Leader of the Opposition are actually hurting the Leader of the Opposition, which is why he's asking those questions of the NDP. But he has an opportunity opportunity right now, Mr. Speaker, to make it clear that he stands with Canadians and stands to ask the wealthiest to pay a little more by announcing now that he will support our measure on increasing the capital gains imposition on Canadians, asking the wealthiest to pay a little bit more. He has dodged that question since the budget came out. Does he support the increase on the capital gains inclusion rate?
On the trust fund where he sheltered all of his money? Absolutely. He doesn't, unfortunately, support his own policies. That's why he won't put them into a budget bill. But one tax he is increasing is the carbon tax on food. He's doing it with the help of the NDP. We already have the second highest carbon tax in the entire developed world. And yet, if the NDP Liberal government is re-elected, they plan to quadruple that tax to 61 cents a litre on the farmers and truckers who bring us our food. How will Canadians afford to eat, heat, and house themselves?
We've talked about all this to great extent. We've talked about the lobbying from Metro Inc. and Jagmeet Singh's brother. Again, I would love to see some form of an inquiry going into finding out just how much influence Jagmeet Singh's brother has over the policies, with Jagmeet alone attacking Loblaws at every single step of the way. Again, while attacking Loblaws, keep in mind, Metro Inc. is one of their main competitors. That's a huge conflict of interest. Now, when it comes to the carbon tax, I mean, look, we all know the carbon tax. We know how inconvenient it is, but can you guys imagine a quadrupling of the current carbon tax if we were to see something like that coming down the line in the future? I don't know how Canadians would survive. I don't know how we would get by. But let's get to the nitty-gritty of just what happened today and just how amazing it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's about 4 minutes worth of content here, and then we're going to talk about it. Hang in with us. You don't want to miss this. It's absolutely fantastic. Let's go.
And the Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, according to the Parliamentary Budget Officer, 8 out of 10 Canadians, middle-income and lower-income Canadians primarily, do better with the Canada carbon rebate that lands in their bank accounts 4 times a year because of the price of pollution.
Misinformation.
Actually cared about affordability and supporting vulnerable Canadians, he'd be standing up to support our measure on dental care, which has now delivered dental care to 30,000 vulnerable seniors across this country already in just a few weeks. He would be supporting our initiatives to help families. He'd be supporting our initiatives to help with childcare.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Oh, we have to do this all over again with him. The Parliamentary Budget Officer produced a report. I'm going to read the title so that he can Google it right now, Mr. Speaker. It is called the Parliamentary Budget Officer's Report on the Distribution of Costs and Benefits under the Carbon Pricing Program. He can look at page 3, where every single province that has the tax sees middle-class Canadians and 60% of families paying more in tax than they get back in benefits. Why won't he get to know the facts and axe the tax?
Oh, drop some W's in the chat, folks. Pierre ain't messing around today.
The opposition's campaign to simply axe the facts. We are going to continue to stand with the science, the evidence.
That's so cringe.
The economists who have all pointed out, including the Parliamentary Budget Officer,
That's the facts.
Canada carbon rebate puts more money in the pockets of 8 out of 10 families in the jurisdictions across the country in which it is, and is effective in bringing down our emissions while creating economic growth as we invest in cleaner technology and good jobs and careers for the future. We have a plan for the economy and the environment. He does not.
I've got secondhand embarrassment from Trudeau's comment.
I'm going to ask members, please. I know sometimes that members don't like hearing question or the answer, but I'm asking all members, please, the only one who is standing up to, recognized by the Speaker, has the right to stand up and to ask a question. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, with his comedy routine, I was going to say that he shouldn't quit his day job, but actually, he should quit his day job.
Oh my God, you guys know what to do in the
He shouldn't go into number crunching, whatever his next job is, because he doesn't believe the economy is about numbers. And I don't blame him, because if I had his economic record, I wouldn't want to talk about numbers either. But it might help him to go to the library and quietly study just a little bit. Will he commit to reading page 3 of the Parliamentary Budget Officer's report, which demonstrates Canadians pay more than they get back in the tax?
Oh my God!
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Parliamentary Budget Officer and far many more experts and economists have clearly demonstrated that the money that returns to Canadians through the Canada Carbon Rebate 4 times a year is greater than 8 out of 10 Canadians pay every year with the price on pollution. Those are the simple facts, Mr. Speaker. We will continue to invest in Canadians. We will continue to support with affordability. We will continue to put the best balance sheet in the G7 in the service of Canadians through investments and support, unlike the cuts he's proposing.
Mr. Speaker, the NDP...
Wow. Pierre just coming full circle on Justin Trudeau today, telling him to quit his day job, going full bore when it comes to the carbon tax. Now, there were some other zingers in question period today. Again, I can't show those to you because, well, YouTube pulls them down and says they're not suitable for the platform. Essentially, Pierre was talking about what I was mentioning at the beginning of the video in terms of decriminalization. He was accusing Trudeau of unaliving people, which a lot of people thought he was going to get struck for in the House. Surprisingly, they let it go. Maybe this has something to do with the wacko comments that came out earlier last week, where, again, Pierre was kicked out of the House. So maybe they're showing a little bit more restraint in terms of when they're going to strike him down with any kind of offensive talk in the House of Commons. I don't know, but it's surprising to me that Trudeau wasn't really, or Pierre wasn't held accountable for what he said about Trudeau. That being said, this is pure and blatant show of what a leader looks like versus one that isn't leading the country at all. When Justin Trudeau makes his cringe comments about axe the facts, I don't know about you guys, but I think Trudeau's been axing the facts for a number of years, probably since the day after he got in office as Prime Minister. We know that he's axed the facts when it comes to mandates, when it comes to lockdowns, when it comes to what to do with your own personal lives, with your body, your money, your home living situation, your groceries. Justin Trudeau has axed the facts on just about every single subject that's been thrown his way. So in fact, while it's cringe, it kind of fits the mold, don't you think? I mean, maybe that should be the next thing to go with this wacko tradition, but clearly Trudeau's showing that he is a professor in wackonomics as he continues his word salad to say that the parliamentary budget officer once again supposedly put through that 8 out of 10 Canadians are better off. I know this family pays more than we get back. In fact, we get back hardly anything at all. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comments if Pierre brought it today, if he's put Justin in his place, if you enjoyed watching him kind of tell Justin to quit his job. Let me know your comments down below. If it's your first time here, again, I hope this video earned your subscription. Make sure to join us every Friday night here on the channel for Friday Night Fringe at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, where we go over all of this stuff that happened throughout the week, as well as some other stuff that's happened maybe in the background or is coming up. And we have a little bit of back and forth with the community. It's always, always great to have you guys over in those streams. It's great to hear what you guys have to say outside of making these videos, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you every single Friday. Shout outs again to Jasper, Mr. Sunshine Baby, over on his House of Canada channel for providing this clip today. Again, head over there, give them a sub, watch Question Period live. He's got some amazing live streams, and again, very informative. He really commits when it comes to this stuff. They just surpassed 100,000 subscribers, so it obviously can't be that bad of a time over there, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.